Welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. This is a safe space where we invite healthcare providers to unapologetically be themselves after the working day. My name is Jennifer George, and each week I will connect you with guests and stories that will help transform your stress to success and fulfillment. Are you with me? Grab your drink of choice and let's chat. Hey everyone, welcome to the Healthcare Provider Happy Hour. I'm your host, Jennifer George, and I'm joining you this afternoon with the post-run shake. I added also watermelon to it today, fresh watermelon, and I just blended it all and it tastes absolutely amazing. I want to chat with you today about overcoming self-doubt in your practice. I would venture to say that most of us experience self-doubt. And I would further venture to say that we experience self-doubt more than we do, self-validation of where we're at. And I think that just comes with the commitment to personal growth and development and professional growth and development, is the fact that in order to grow, we are going to feel uncertain or insecure about the direction in which we're going and whether or not it's the right path and all of this stuff. And then that kind of brews self-doubt within us, right? We start to doubt what we're doing. We start to doubt our decisions. We start to doubt our skill. We start to doubt our connections. And we start to doubt our place overall if it gets really out of control. And that could lead to burnout if this is what is sustaining you rather than just happening once in a while. So I wanted to share with you today 3 tips to overcome self-doubt that you could keep at the forefront of your decisions every single day, or at the forefront of your goals and inspiration every single day, so that you don't get too stagnant or even feel like things are spiraling when it comes to doubting yourself. So the first thing is aligning your decisions with your values. Okay, so when I started practicing early on in my career, I felt like other people were trying to dictate and tell me how to practice. They were trying to tell me what was wrong, what was right, and I was naive, thinking people had my best interest at heart at times, and I would listen and I would follow that, and it never made me feel good about myself. In fact, it made me seek external validation more and more, when in reality, what I needed to start doing was draw everything more inward and be guided by my own ethical drivers and my own core values. And that's what I've been doing for at least 7 years now. And when my core values drive my decisions as a clinician, it's so much easier. It's so much easier. Things flow so much easier. Yes, you take more responsibility, but that's actually a good thing. That's an empowering thing. So by taking more responsibility, you're empowering yourself and doubting yourself less and less. I think when other people are making decisions for you, when you get lost in that, then you lose yourself, right? You lose yourself. And in losing yourself, it's going to be really hard to make decisions in the first place, and then to feel comfortable and secure and empowered in those decisions that you're making. So that's the first tip. Think of your core values with every single decision that you're making. Okay, don't take decisions too lightly, because we make so many of them a day. And because we make so many of them a day, it's so easy to doubt ourselves in that process if we are not the ones that are driving those decisions when they have mostly everything to do with us. Okay, second, don't compare yourself to others. This is a big thing, and this is probably super hard for all of us to do. I know for myself included, especially with social media, especially with other podcasts, especially with other authors writing on similar topics and things like that. It's so easy for me to get sucked into comparison mode Early on in my career, when I was just practicing direct care, it was very easy for me to compare myself to other clinicians that were way more experienced. And when I realized that it was better to be inspired by others and collaborate with others rather than seeking approval from others or rather than comparing myself to others, that's when things seem to go better for me. So that is an everyday practice for me, is also to stay in my own lane, so to speak, and to focus on where I can grow and help others to grow through my shared experiences and liberating others to be themselves more. That's the point of this podcast, is to liberate healthcare providers to be themselves unapologetically at work and after work. So try not to fall victim to comparison mode and, seek acceptance from yourself first above all. If you don't, you're going to find it hard to tap into your unique gifts as a professional to your profession and to your patients, because you're basically being influenced by everybody else and being driven by comparison, that you are not really being true to yourself or tapping into your own potential. Finally, the third thing is being kind to yourself along the way, even through self-doubt. Okay, so it's very important to be aware of it and how those emotions come up for you when you're feeling doubtful of yourself. Like, do you find that your mind races? Do you find that you're unfocused? Do you find that you're exhausted and sometimes you just shut down? What might that look like for you when it comes to self-doubt? And acknowledge that feeling, talk yourself through that, acknowledge that feeling, and then give yourself a little bit of a pep talk, so to speak. So some of the things that I like to say to myself are that I'm moving forward in this journey, that this is all a part of learning for me, and that I can only learn by trying things out. So at least I'm getting, my toes wet, at least I'm going for it. That gives me more motivation to continue to move forward. One of the biggest things I tell myself is that there was never a wrong move over the past 13 years of my career. Although I've had to learn hard lessons along the way, there has never been a wrong move. I also feel like by telling myself that I am not the end all be all, I am not the one who is in full control of every single thing, it's easier for me to let go of those things I cannot control, but also to trust the process, trust the universe, trust God, and have faith that things will always work out. The other thing too, to remind myself with regards to being compassionate to myself, is being aware of what I've accomplished so far and not focusing on my ego, which is focusing on what I still need to do, right? What I'm lacking. Why haven't I heard back from this person? Or, why haven't I been able to achieve this yet, right? What am I doing this for? Things like that are so lack focused and lack minded. Those are some of the things that I have to literally be aware of and stop myself in thinking that. Sometimes I actually will talk to people that are in my circle about it if I'm feeling that way, if I'm feeling like I'm hard on myself, and sometimes I don't even know when I am. So that's where it helps to have your trusted friends or trusted family, your trusted circle, to be like, hey, you're being a little hard on yourself. Like, look at what you've done. Look at where you've come. Look at who you've inspired. Look at who you've helped. And so that often helps to ground me as well. I think the biggest thing to remember is that self-doubt is always going to creep in. It's always going to find a way in. But the biggest thing is to be aware of it and then to help yourself keep it at bay from overtaking where you're at right now. I've said it before that part of fulfillment is going through the journey. The path of it itself is part of fulfillment. And if we just expect everything to happen for us yesterday or tomorrow, we lose appreciation for where we're at right now. We lose appreciation for the effort that we put into our own self-worth and our own self-compassion, and that is effort that deserves to be celebrated. We deserve to be celebrated as healthcare providers every single day. So try to find those things that you are doing so well at rather than focusing on what it is that you're lacking right now. So the three things, just to recap, is align your decisions with your values. Don't compare yourself, and finally, be kind to yourself. If you struggle with self-doubt, if you find that it's spiraling and it's starting to spill into everything that's going on in your life, it's starting to make you feel uneasy emotionally, you're finding it hard to get motivated, things like that, just reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is @bestobsessedwithjen. You know, we all have self-doubt. It's a normal feeling. It's a normal feeling, but we can overcome it. And by overcoming it, we have to bring attention to it. Don't suppress your self-doubt. Talk yourself through it. Acknowledge it, talk yourself through it, and continue onward. And until we chat next time, guys, remember to stay happy, stay well, and believe in yourself. So if you guys like this podcast, please subscribe and leave an honest review. Your feedback means everything to me. Your reviews are what moves this podcast forward, and I always appreciate receiving them. If you want to get a hold of me directly, reach out to me on social media. My handles are in the show notes, and you can always subscribe to my weekly newsletters at jennifergeorge.co so that we can stay connected. So until next time, thank you guys so much again for your ongoing support.